So I'm going to be trying to do a cutting today and getting this little guy to root. And the idea of taking cuttings is grabbing part of an already established plant and either putting it in water with fertilizer or into the ground and getting it to grow an entirely new plant. I don't know if you know you can do this, but it's very easy to do with plants like geranium and jasmine. And then other times you can just kind of trial and error and see if you can get it to work. I think I read that the success rate isn't usually higher than about 30%, but it's worth it because you can grow potentially an entirely new tree from just a small little bitty guy. And it saves a lot of time and a lot of money. Like if you were trying to grow something from seed, that's great, but it's going to take longer than just making your own little rooting. And of course, it's better than going to the nursery and spending $10 on a wisteria plant when you can try to get one to grow yourself. So what this is this piece of quince that I got walking home today, and I'm just going to take off the bottom leaf, and there are two nubs now that used to have leaves, and I'm going to dip it in my rooting hormone. Here we go. And you're supposed to tap off the extra. So tap, tap, tap. And then I'm just going to stick it in water and let it soak for maybe a day. And it's kind of sinking right now, so what I'm going to do is fashion a kind of a crisscross, a lattice made of toothpicks, and that'll keep it up. And then once it's soaked, I'll be putting it into the dirt, into the sun, and watering it really well. And I mean, it's really just hoping that it will work. You know, if the plant is resilient and it wants to be alive, hopefully it will send out new roots. And I've gotten that to happen a few times by accident. Like I picked this branch that had these beautiful white blossoms that smelled like orange, but the tree wasn't a citrus. I'm not sure what it is. I don't remember the name. But I put this bouquet in the water, and after a few days, I took them out to toss the flowers that had died, and this one had sent out white roots, so it wanted to be alive. So now I've got that growing over there in a glass jar, and I mean, it's really incredible. It's like the starfish theory. Like if you take off the arm of something, it can still survive. And plants are just amazing. So hopefully this will work. You should look it up online. There are a lot of like eHows and wiki articles about getting your cuttings to work. And of course you'll have more success if you use like a rooting hormone or a fertilizer. You should snip off any blooms or try to find a branch that doesn't have any, because the flowers will just suck out the energy. Flowers are meant to propagate, and you don't need that right now. You need to focus on growing. And the same goes with like your fruit trees. And they're kind of reaching maturity sometimes. You can decide to forgo your fruit for another season and take off all the blooms, and then the plant will focus all its energy on growing, and you'll have a stronger tree next year because it didn't focus on making fruit. So things like that, blooms should be taken off, the lower leaves, that's a place where the roots will hopefully come out. And you can do this with many succulents. Like I said, geranium works really well, like really well. I think I have maybe a 90% success rate with trying to get geraniums to grow from cuttings. So look it up, try it for yourself. I mean, what do you have to lose? And hopefully you can get some plants going.